When your heart stops, you might assume it's a peaceful fade to black, but the opposite happens. Your brain violently wakes up. Today, we're mapping the exact 60-second timeline of death and why it's far more active than anyone thought. But before we start the clock, I need a quick vital sign check. Prove your neurons are still firing and you have the motor function to click a mouse by hitting the subscribe button. At second 0, your blood pressure drops to nothing. Blood circulation stops completely, ending fresh oxygen delivery. But your brain doesn't know that yet. For the first 10 seconds, it runs smoothly on residual oxygen. Your neurons are firing. You're still thinking. Because biological death is a delayed mechanical process, at the exact moment your heart stops, you are technically still you. Your consciousness remains completely intact. That window closes fast. Around 10 seconds in, the residual oxygen runs out. The cerebral cortex, the part of your brain responsible for conscious thought, shuts down. From the outside, you look completely gone. To understand what happens next, we have to look at a 2023 study by neuroscientist Jimo Borjigin at the University of Michigan. Her team monitored the brain activity of 4 comatose patients as they were taken off life support. So what happens to the data when that power supply vanishes? Instead of slowly winding down like a machine losing power, the data graph shows a massive explosion of high-amplitude gamma waves within seconds of losing oxygen. Looking closer at these spikes, gamma waves are the exact same neurological markers your brain produces during heightened awareness, intense memory retrieval, and dreaming. And this highly organized activity is concentrated in the temporal parieto-occipital junction, a specific region directly linked to visual processing and out-of-body experiences. Starving the brain of oxygen doesn't cause a simple system failure. It paradoxically triggers the most highly organized, hyper-aware state your mind can achieve. This massive surge provides a biological explanation for a phenomenon people have reported for decades: the feeling of your life flashing before your eyes. We usually assume that playback is a highlight reel of your wedding, your children being born, or your greatest achievements. But survivors report seeing the exact opposite. It is riding your bike as a kid, or checking your email on a random Tuesday. One young man resuscitated from clinical death described seeing a white cat on a staircase. He didn't know what it meant until he told his mother, who confirmed they lived next to a neighbor with a white cat in an identical building when he was only 14 months old. The retrieval of a memory from infancy raises a significant question about the depth of our own minds. It suggests that our memories may never be truly lost, and that the brain's final surge of activity might simply be the moment it finally accesses that hidden archive. While your brain is surging, your body is shutting down. At the 30-second mark, cellular oxygen deprivation forces the body into anaerobic respiration. Your muscles completely relax, and your cells start outputting a toxic buildup of lactic acid. But this physical shutdown doesn't equal suffering. Dr. Sam Parnia's AWARE-2 study tracked cardiac arrest survivors, and this chart breaks down the results. Roughly 40% experienced some perception of consciousness while clinically dead, with many reporting full visual awareness and a profound sense of peace. At the 60-second mark, enzymes start leaking out in a process of self-digestion called autolysis, but you are still in a state of biological limbo. Because brain cells can survive without oxygen for 4 to 6 minutes, a defibrillator can still reverse the entire process. The 60-second mark is not a definitive end. It is a suspended, painless biological pause waiting for medical intervention. If no one comes to save you, that minute was your final minute of existence. Your brain didn't use that time to quietly give up. It used it to turn on. People who come back from this state never return wanting more money or higher status. They return wanting more time to be present in ordinary moments with the people they love. Because it turns out, those are the exact moments your brain was quietly recording all along. And in your final 60 seconds, it might just play them all back for you one last time. If you liked this video, watch this one next to understand why your boss is actually an evolutionary mistake.